So the steering column, got it pulled out, and I literally went to take this off with the Allen key, stuck it down in there, and this was loose, and it literally popped the head off the top of the one that takes it off the shaft. And I played a pretty good bit to try to get that other one out, but finally got it out. And yeah, that's crazy. So it's out. We're getting rolling on the S10 column. Going ahead to get the new one put in so I can get it cut, placed in there, and get it all done up. We're still mounting the seats, so we're making some progress on this thing. We're going to get rock and rolling, get this plate all pulled off, so I can get all that stuff cleaned up, get the dash snatched out. Yeah. I got the steering column put in, got it all bolted up. I got this, pretty much I could slide that on there without this section here on it. I pulled this off so you can actually be able to slide it down to see what the best, you know, right where the selection of this is. And I'm trying to figure out where I need to cut this column at to where I can add that piece back, because I can slide that that shaft out of there. Once I take the column off, I'll take the column off of here, and it actually has this sleeve right here. You can slide this off and slide this whole shaft out of this Motion Raceworks column. So what I got to do is I kind of got to get a good area to where I can, you know, sit down in here and it feels good. And then because realistically it's going to probably be, it's going to sit just a little bit above that right there, so you're able to actually pull the quick connect off. So it's it looks really good in there. So we're gonna see how that works out. I think it's gonna work really, really nice. So guys, we're sitting down in the seat. We got this thing pretty much situated where we want to do it, you know, straight on with the actual steering wheel, to where your actual arm is still kind of collapsed, you know, in that area between your elbow and your shoulder. And like I say, with the door basically shut, it's still good there, and you can put your arm, you know, on the bar itself right there. I got the column set in place. It's gonna be hard to see because I ain't got that much light, but you can actually pretty much, you know, see where basically where you want to slide it at, because this piece is hollow. Most of the other pieces that you get are welded solid, and you're not able to do that. But Motion actually makes this piece here, which is hollow all the way on the inside. It's made out of billet, but you can actually see where it makes it a tiny bit easier to actually be able to put it in a place to where you're able to kind of feel where you want. You don't want your arms to be, you know, you don't want your arms to be stretched completely out. You actually want your arms to be bent a little bit on your elbow right there, so you feel comfortable, you know, with the while you're driving. And also, if you're ever trying to do it, if your arms are stretched all the way out, whenever you go to kind of lean back, whenever you go to snatch back or anything else, you don't want your arms to be, you know, pulling off the steering wheel basically. So if you, depending on how fast your vehicle is, you can take and bend your steering wheel back a pretty good bit and to get out of line. But we're getting it pretty much dialed in, and it feels really good right here in this. And once we get this piece cut off and shimmed up and put the other piece back on, slide the shaft back through it, we'll be stationary with this piece here, and it'll be done. And then we can bolt our bolts up to the firewall and everything, and we pretty much got a line out on where the seat's going to go. And this is pretty much easy to do. The right here is pretty much easy to get out. So basically you'd be popping this off and sitting it in the passenger seat or whatever. Take your leg, flap your leg off right there, and it's easy to get out. And basically sliding back in is the same thing. You just use the bar, slide in. It's not gonna hurt anything. So yeah, this is it's going pretty good. So I'm gonna get that trimmed and get that fitted, and then we'll be able to go from there, and I'll keep y'all updated. All right, so I got the column because my chop saw, my Tabo, I had to cut about 5 inches total, is what I cut off of the column, because basically our extension is a 5-inch extension, so it would put us almost back to stock location. So I got it cut, got the collar slid back through it. The next thing that I have to modify is this shaft here, to work with our pre-existing piece here. So I had to add the ends onto it, so I'm going to have to figure out how the length that I need that comes out of the firewall, right here at the end, and then get those pieces made up. Then I got to drill it. So it's a lot of in and out of the truck, bolt it in, take it out, bolt it in, take it out, kind of sort of thing. And we're fixing to get this installed back in there so I can get to work on this bottom shaft, get that made, and then I'll be able to get the dash and everything pulled out so we can get everything cleaned up as far as everything behind the firewall and all. So okay, what we got it all fed back through the firewall, and we're having to cut off this amount to where we can mount this, back up to the factory, I guess factory thing. You can actually shorten it or however you need it, however you need it or whatever. And then we're gonna have to cut some off this bottom piece coming down here. So once we get that cut off, then we can put the piece on here. But we have to, when you slide these end pieces on, basically you'll slide these pieces on here, which it has, it's just called, I guess, D-slot is basically what it is you'll have to trim off what you're going to have, but this piece slides inside here. So then you have to take and, I have a punch. Normally what I'll do is, like I say, I'll take a punch, slide it down through this hole if it'll stay focused, and you will basically have that piece on the inside. Then you'll knock a divot into this piece here, and what you'll do is you'll take your drill bit and you'll mark that piece right there, because this set screw is what sets in there. And I use red Loctite on these, even though they have nylon, locks that's, supposedly locks them to this piece. I have seen them, before work loose regardless of the fact. So I use red Loctite on those, and it locks it down in here, and you can easily heat these up with the red Loctite, heat these up, and get the piece back out if you need to take it apart or whatnot. So yeah, that's my process of doing that. It takes a little bit of time, but like I say, it's definitely worth it in the long run. And you're taking sand down this piece here, and paint it, you can paint it whatever color or whatnot, so you ain't got to worry about it rusting or anything. So I'm going to get this finished up to where I can get all my measurements I need to get in there. And like I say, we still have a lot of cleaning up to do on this front rail, so I'm getting this part done to where I can get that done, and then I'll be doing my cuts and everything. I got to redo all the brake lines in this section, and I'm going to make a bracket also for this here, so it's just not there you ain't eventually working it loose or whatever. As far as like moving around, if we're adjusting it and everything, it's going to be mounted solid. I'm going to build a nice little bracket or whatever that I can mount to this piece here. And we're slowly cleaning everything else up on the firewall. I'm fixing to get this plate and everything. Once I get this finished on this steering shaft, I'm going to get this plate off and then just go over the whole firewall. I've got a pretty good bit of work to do here. I have to weld all this, but I have to clean it up because some of it's actually, you can see, like I say, that whoever was doing the roll cage and stuff before me, they took and cut all this, or whoever tried to swap a V8 or whatever before I ever got this job. And so I'm going to clean up all this stuff and re-weld all the pinch weld back together, because that has to be seamed, and then I'm going to have to seam seal it from the inside. for fire, basically fireproofing it. So we're going to get that done, and we're rocking away on this project. So. Come on, Brian. Yeah, good, bro. Good ride. Say definitely that these are probably my two favorite S10s here. Isaiah Carter's super clean trucks. This one here, single turbo setup. And then also gonna be a little hard. It's windy today for y'all to hear me, but we're trying right here cleaned up. I got this old Can-Am foiler gonna get moved out of the way, and just random little stuff I got along just at the front part of this at the front of the shop. But we're making a pretty good bit right here. I'm gonna get that stuff moved, and then I'm gonna jump back on the bulldozer and try to get all this stuff right here cleaned up. All this brush and this trees pushed back up in here, and I got a little bit of stuff I gotta pick up, but we're slowly making way on this thing. So we're gonna try to get this stuff knocked, and I'll set y'all up on tripod, see if I can try to get some of the footage or something another of me pushing the stuff back. But I'm gonna try to get on that, and we're just trying to get this stuff done. There's a little bit of stuff I need to get done around the shop, and once we get done with that stuff there, we can jump back on the projects. But it's things like this right here that really kind of makes it hard to get everything done when you're one person trying to do everything, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna get this knocked out, and once we get that knocked out, and then we'll get back to work. We'll get back to doing some fab work and everything. So I don't know if y'all enjoy this kind of stuff, but you know, this is just what content I have to put out right now. So we're gonna get that done, and once we get that done, it's pretty much, like I say, it's got to get done regardless. So we're gonna get that knocked out and get y'all set up, rock and roll. All right, so we checked out our food. You check your oil, check your radiator. Always, you know, make sure that you ain't got no different things, fluid leak or anything like that. You want to double check all your hydraulic fluid. I've double checked all my hydraulic fluid, and we're fixing to get rocking and rolling. So let's get after it. As you can see, y'all, I got a pretty good bit knocked out. Steadily going at it, but you kind of got a glimpse of how it looked before, all down the side of the shop. So I'm just going through and picking up a few limbs and everything now, and try to get it leveled out here as good as I can with the bucket. Then I'll use my tractor to take and kind of like finalize finalize it, because I'm gonna try to my best to get some rock and everything to put down whenever I can. These things are just time consuming, guys. I mean, I know that y'all pretty much come here to watch as much fabrication as I do, but I do all kinds of things, and this is one of those things that I need to get done, and before it just overtakes the side of the shop and can't get it all cut down and moved by hand. Some of this stuff is just, you know, it's just way too heavy for me. It don't matter if you cut it down in small sections. Some of those bigger trees are just, you got to have heavy machinery. You got to have help, and this thing right here is definitely a blessing. The good Lord was looking out for me whenever this thing, Audie and them picked it up, and like I say, he came over here and done this whole front section for me, and he got that knocked out, and he said, hey, I got a few other things I need to go do. If you need to finish using it to do whatever you need, you're more than welcome to it. So he left it with me, and I'm trying to get it done in a timely fashion, you know, over the weekend while they're not using it. So we're gonna get this. He got all these trees I had piled up and burnt halfway, got them pushed up in the back there. Still got to cut this pine tree right here, but all where the Chevy 2 was at, I got it all pushed up, and I got pretty much everything behind the shop pushed up. So pretty much everything else I got a level that I'm going to level. I'm gonna level it all out with my tractor and a box blade, but I got pretty much all this, and I'm debating that thing right there is super dead. You can see that it's decayed pretty bad around that, so we're probably gonna go ahead and cut that thing down too. That tree should have already fell, I would say, but yeah, I kind of quit pushing around this just in case that thing decided to, the wind's blowing pretty good today, so I was like, yeah, let me get finished what I need to do here, get this all pushed up, and we'll address that that tree a little bit later. So I'm gonna get all this stuff right here pretty much leveled out and smoothed out as I can. Most of these bigger trees, like I say, that one right there is the one that originally fell on the back of the shop, and so we got it pushed on up out the way and everything finally, and all them other trees we got pushed on up the way, but gotta get all this stuff moved around and cleaned up back here so I can actually build onto a shelter back here. But y'all can see this tree right here. I really want to get this thing down too, but she's girthy and she's down in there, so you can just tell a huge difference upside the shop right here. So oh yeah, so pretty much to get this one moved around, this is a big old pine tree. This thing fell. Got the saw, cut that one, and then I had to cut another spot down here. That old little ryobi, it took a bunch of get at it. We're slowly making it, getting this thing out of the way, because once I get this thing out of the way, then I can kind of level all this up and push it level straight across, because this was like the biggest, I think the biggest hurdle at the time. So getting that one cut, and we're gonna get that one moved. Once we get that one moved, or once I get that one moved, we can get this whole area right here all cleaned back up and everything too. So whew. And the good Lord bless you with 2 hands and a sledgehammer. You beat the piss out of this tree. Hey, I don't know what the heck's holding this damn thing still together. I got the other side pretty much completely carved out.
with the damn, with that, and then this barbed wire stuck on here. I don't know if the damn barbed wire is holding it together. Man, ooh, buddy, freaking getting old. That's it's a young man's job right there for sure. Yeah. Huh. It ain't coming down, boy. Chainsaw took a shit, so I got the sledgehammer. I knocked it enough as much as I could. Chainsaw took a shit when I was pushing those other ones up. Oh man, this shit right here is for the birds. Whew. And the bees. And every worm that's ever ate this tree. Whew. Wow. Got it down though. That's all that matters. I'm telling you, this thing had like freaking barbed wire all growed in. It was growed into it. I don't know if that was what's freaking holding it or what. But yeah, we got it down. It's a big one. Oh man. Woo! She gone. Just been wide open with getting all this stuff cleaned up around the shop. I've had a ton of stuff I had to get done and get it moved around and everything, but she's about got whipped on this end for sure. So got all them big old trees that fell from the storm and everything, got them all pushed up. And then I got all this cleared back here. Y'all seen I got the big tree. It's all gone and pushed up in a pile up there, made a tree line back there. And yeah, it has definitely been a lot of work, that's for sure. But we've about at the end of the road with getting all that stuff cleared up, cleaned up. I just got to get the tractor and put the box blade on it and just kind of go all over it and finalize it and everything. So I'm going to end this one here, y'all. Rock and roll. It's just been a lot going on, so y'all like, share, and subscribe, and we'll finally hopefully get back to getting some fab work done inside the shop. Catch y'all on the next one.